What if I told you that every single conversation you've had this week was actually a sales pitch and you didn't even know it?
If you didn't know you were selling, you were definitely being sold. That's the idea behind Grant Cardone's Sell or Be Sold, a book that's not just about sales, it's about taking control of your entire life.
Right away, Cardone flips the script on what selling really means. It's not about pushing products. It's about persuasion, influence, confidence, and honestly, just getting your way in life without bulldozing people.
Exactly. He makes it super clear. Whether you're trying to land a job, convince your kid to eat vegetables, or pitch a startup to investors, you're in sales. And if you don't realize that, you're already losing the game.
And that's the punch. You're either selling or someone else is selling you. There's no middle ground. It's one of those ideas that hits you in the gut a little bit.
And it matters because once you start seeing sales as a life skill, not just a job, you start to show up differently. You speak with more intention. You stop apologizing for wanting things.
Today, we're diving into the real heart of Cardone's philosophy. This isn't about sleazy tactics or cheesy one-liners. It's about mindset, momentum, and learning how to move through life with purpose and conviction.
And whether you're running a business, building a brand, or just trying to convince your roommate to take out the trash for once, this book has something for you. Let's tap the vault.
So let's get into what Cardone calls the most important sale you'll ever make. Spoiler alert, it's not the product, it's not the pitch, it's you.
That's right. He says before you can convince anyone else of anything, you have to be completely sold on yourself and what you're offering, and not halfway. Fully, deeply, unshakably sold.
Okay, but let's be real. What if you don't feel that confident? What if you're still figuring things out or you're not totally sure your product is amazing?
That's exactly why this matters. If you're not sold, the cracks show, people pick up on your hesitation, the energy is off. And Cardone doesn't leave room for that. He makes it clear belief comes first and everything else follows.
So in practice, that means before you walk into the room, whether it's a sales call or an interview, you better have already convinced yourself that you're the best option in that room.
Exactly. And one way to do that is something Cardone practices himself, use your own product, experience what you're selling firsthand. It builds confidence fast because now you're speaking from belief, not theory.
It reminds me of when someone's pitching an idea, but you can just feel they don't even believe it'll work. Like, why should I jump in if you're halfway out?
Exactly. And this is where we hit our first vault key of the episode, sell yourself harder than your product. It means your conviction has to be stronger than any doubt the other person might have. If they're unsure, your certainty is what fills the gap.
That's a game changer. And it makes you think, how often are we trying to convince others when we haven't even convinced ourselves?
Too often. Cardone actually tells a story about refusing to sell something until he could honestly say he would buy it himself. And that's not just ethics. That's strategy. Because when you believe, you don't have to fake confidence. It becomes natural.
I think that's what makes this so practical. He's not saying fake it. He's saying build real belief. And one way to start is by writing out exactly why you believe in what you're offering, like a conviction checklist.
That's a solid move. He even recommends role-playing with yourself, literally pitching your product in front of a mirror until your tone, posture, and language reflect total belief. It's awkward, but it works.
So basically, don't try to sell anything you wouldn't fight for, whether it's a product, an idea, or even your own resume.
And don't forget, this applies beyond business. If you're pitching yourself for a job, a raise, a relationship, you're the product. You've got to be your own biggest buyer before anyone else will sign on.
Hey, by the way, for you listening, yes, you behind the screen. You know what would be amazing? If you're enjoying this episode so far, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss what we dig into our next podcast.
And remember to tap the bell as well. This is very important and we are counting on you.
Okay, back to our topic now. So Ray, here's what hit me hard. Cardone doesn't just talk about taking action. He talks about taking massive action, like relentless, borderline obsessive levels of action.
Absolutely. He breaks it down into 4 types of action, and only one of them matters. Massive action. Not normal, not conservative, not a little each day. Massive means going all in, no hesitation.
Okay, but I gotta ask, how do you know the difference between working hard and going massive? I mean, aren't most of us already stretched?
It's not just about being busy. It's about intensity and direction. Cardone's point is that most people don't fail because they aim too high. They fail because they play small. They underestimate how much effort it really takes to win.
And he gives that example of making sales calls, right? Where most people make 10 and call it a day. Cardone would make 100. Not because he had time, but because that level of volume forced results.
Exactly. That's one of his core principles. Outwork your competition until your numbers are so high you can't help but improve. It's about creating so much activity that even your worst day beats someone else's best.
So basically, massive action is what separates dabblers from closers. It's not a strategy, it's a mindset.
Exactly. And here's your vault key for this segment. Take massive action or lose to average. It's that blunt. The world rewards people who go all in. If you're showing up halfway, you're already behind.
And I love how he ties that into attitude. Like, your energy is your edge. If you walk in the room half-sold or low energy, people can tell.
Yes, he's crystal clear that attitude is more valuable than your pitch. Confidence, certainty, enthusiasm, those things close more deals than logic ever will.
So even if you're having a rough day, your attitude can't walk in 5 steps behind you. That's what people remember, how you made them feel, not just what you said.
And he pushes that further by saying your attitude is your brand. It's how people associate you with momentum, solutions, and value. If you want to be known for winning, act like a winner, even before the results show up.
That one really stuck with me. He even says it's better to have the wrong words and the right attitude than the perfect script with no conviction.
And that leads to one more powerful takeaway here. You don't wait for motivation. You act first. Action creates momentum. That momentum fuels your attitude. And your attitude drives results. It's a cycle, but it starts with you making the first move.
All right, let's talk about one of the biggest myths Cardone smashes in this book. The idea that people don't buy because of price. He says it's almost never the reason.
Exactly. We think price is the problem, but really, it's a lack of certainty. When people hesitate, it's because they're not fully sold. Not on the product, not on the value, and definitely not on the person selling it.
And that's kind of wild when you think about it. Because how often do we try to solve objections by offering discounts or lowering the price?
All the time. But Cardone is clear, if someone truly sees the value, they'll pay. The real issue is trust. And that trust comes from your confidence, your consistency, and how well you build belief in the outcome.
So if someone's hesitating, it's not the sticker price. It's that they don't feel safe with the purchase. Like, they're still wondering, is this really going to work for me?
Exactly. That's why Cardone says salespeople need to stop defending their product and start reinforcing outcomes. One tip he gives is to stack real examples, testimonials, success stories, even your own results, so the buyer sees proof, not just a promise.
So if I'm getting price objections, I'm probably not doing enough to build trust. It's not about the money, it's about the story I'm telling or not telling.
Right. And here's the vault key from this segment. Don't sell on price. Sell with certainty. When you're absolutely sure about what you're offering, that energy transfers to the buyer. They stop worrying about cost because they feel safe saying yes.
That totally flips how we usually think about sales. Instead of trying to be the cheapest, be the most confident. Because people aren't just buying the product, they're buying you.
And confidence comes from preparation. Cardone talks about drilling your pitch, knowing your objections before they come up, and even practicing closing conversations daily. It's not about winging it, it's about mastering the process so your belief never wavers.
So confidence isn't this magical personality trait. It's built, rehearsed, earned, which means anyone can do it if they put in the reps.
And one of Cardone's best tips is to always agree first. Even when someone pushes back, your job isn't to argue, it's to agree, stay calm, and redirect their focus toward what really matters, outcomes and results.
So if someone says, that's too expensive, instead of getting defensive, I might say, I completely understand, and then show them why it's worth every penny.
Exactly. It's not about proving them wrong. It's about helping them believe they're making the right decision. Because at the end of the day, sales isn't about pressure, it's about trust. And trust always wins.
All right, Ray, it's time to drop the vault keys. The big ideas from today's episode that people can actually use right away.
Let's go. First vault key, sell yourself harder than your product. If you're not completely convinced, no one else will be. Belief is the baseline.
Number 2, take massive action or lose to average. Stop waiting, go bigger, go faster, and keep moving even when it's uncomfortable.
Vault key 3, attitude closes more than arguments. Confidence beats perfection every time. People follow certainty.
Fourth key, don't sell on price, sell with certainty. Buyers need to trust you more than they need a discount.
And one more, agree first, redirect second. Don't fight objections, flow with them, and guide the conversation back to value. When you agree, you keep control.
5 vault keys, all locked in. This is the stuff that flips sales from awkward to powerful.
And it's not just about selling a product. It's about showing up in life like you actually believe in what you bring to the table.
All right, Ray, this one was packed. I'm walking away with a totally different view of what sales actually is.
That's the magic of Cardone's approach. He's not teaching sales as a tactic. He's teaching it as a mindset. You don't just use it in business. You use it in every part of your life.
And I think that's what makes it stick. Whether you're running a team, pitching a client, or just trying to get your kid to do homework, it all comes down to influence.
Influence without pressure. Conviction without arrogance. That's the balance Cardone shows over and over again. It's about showing up fully sold on what you believe.
So here's the challenge for listeners this week. Pick one moment where you would normally hesitate or play it safe. Instead, try going all in. Massive action, full belief.
And remember the vault key. People don't buy products, they buy certainty. Lead with your conviction and you'll change how people respond to you.
This has been Tap the Vault. We broke down the mindset, the methods, and the moves behind sell or be sold.
And we'll be back with more ideas to help you think bigger, move faster, and lead with confidence. This is the end of our episode. If you learned something useful, make sure to hit the like button, drop a quick comment, and share the episode with one friend you care about and who can also benefit from it as well. We are counting on you. Thanks again for watching and see you next time.